Welcome to the driver's seat. It's rare that we get to compare two very similar vehicles back to back, but that's exactly what we have here. To my right is the Volvo C40 Recharge, fully electric vehicle with a starting price of about $56,400. And to my left is the Audi Q4 e-Tron, also fully electric with a starting price just under $50,000. So quite a bit cheaper, about 13% cheaper than the Volvo, and that's significant because Audi is a true luxury brand, whereas Volvo is more of a premium brand. If you don't believe me, just look at the fact that they are launching a luxury brand, which is Polestar. So let's get into some of the numbers. Range, very important number. You have 265 miles of range on the Q4, only 228 on the Volvo C40, and that's significant. Also, the charge time, well, that's pretty similar, 36 minutes. I'm going to kind of negate that number. The battery capacity, also very similar, 75 versus 82 kilowatts. Those numbers are similar. Where the Volvo, I think, really outshines the Q4 is 0 to 60 times and the horsepower. So 402 horsepower versus 295. The Volvo has a lot more horsepower. With that horsepower, you're going to get 0 to 60 times of about 4.5 seconds versus 5.8 seconds on the Audi Q4. I think Audi is a true luxury brand, as mentioned, where Volvo is a premium brand. So we reviewed the Volvo C40 several months ago, and here's a link to that video, so feel free to go back and refresh yourself as far as that vehicle and what our thoughts were. And now here's the review of the all-new Q4 e-Tron. Now that we've spent a full week with this all-new 2023 Audi Q4 e-Tron Sportback, we've learned a lot. So for starters, Q4 comes in two variants. This is the Sportback, which starts just under $60,000. I know I said in my intro that the Q4 starts under $50,000. Well, that's for the regular version and non-Sportback. And that one comes in a 40 or 50, and the difference is the battery pack. The Sportback is only available in the 50. They don't call it that, but that's what it is. It has the bigger battery pack, 265 miles of range. 0 to 60, 7.9 on the smaller pack, 5.8 on this one. So as tested, $66,000, and we're impressed. So from a design standpoint, I think Audi nailed it, but Audi has been doing this for a long time. For the last 20 years, in my opinion, some of the best designs. They've really incorporated some new design elements into this, starting with the front, where you have that solid grille for all their fully electric vehicles. They're all branded e-Tron. e-Tron is like a sub-brand for Audi. You can see these large wheels. They fill the wheel well nicely, very far forward, just making the vehicle look even longer. So they've got those short overhangs. And so from the B-pillar here forward, the two vehicles are the same, the Sportback and the regular Q4. The difference is in the back, how it slopes down. But even though you lose some little headroom, some storage, cargo space, we were still able to put a mountain bike in there, but we had to take the wheel off. I'm impressed. When you look at this segment, it's kind of emerging. Lexus has a new, I think it's the RZ that's coming, which will be a direct competitor. I mentioned the C40 and the Polestar 2, which is the same vehicle as the C40, just a little more luxurious. But as of right now, this will be my top choice. I wish the range was a little bit longer. I think this is a very practical vehicle for what it is. I still think that when you compare it to something like a Hyundai Ioniq 5, for example, that vehicle is less expensive, has more range, and it's got some other features that this might not have. But if you want that luxury feel, this is a great way to go. In my introduction, comparing this vehicle to the C40 Recharge from Volvo, I mentioned the starting price of the Q4 e-Tron is just under $50,000. But what Audi's done is, I want to clarify, they have two versions of the Q4. There is a standard version and the Sportback, which we're driving. The Sportback has a sleeker, more aerodynamic look. In fact, the coefficient of drag is 0.26 compared to 0.28 for the standard Q4 e-Tron. It's available in the Premium, Premium Plus, and when you go up to the Q450, that's when you can get the larger 265 mile range, larger battery pack, and that one starts about the same as this one, which is $59,000. So as equipped, this vehicle, because we're in the Prestige, which you have Premium, Premium Plus, and Prestige. We're in the Prestige, which is the top of the line. This one is $66,000. I think Audi's being a little conservative with their range and cautious. They don't want to overestimate, but it is true to form. And unfortunately, we've had to deal with EVgo chargers all week, and it has been a struggle. I can tell you, between EVgo and Electrify America and ChargePoint, EVgo is the most difficult to use. Every time I had to use one, and it was 3 different occasions, I had to call the 800 number. I had to fold the seats down and take the front wheel off, but that gives you an idea of how much room is available in this Q4. And everything you see, Audi's virtual cockpit, which they introduced years ago, continues to be refined. Beautiful graphics. Again, comparing this to the C40, which is one of the few other vehicles. Let's add the Polestar 2 in there, because that is essentially a slightly more luxurious version of the C40, and that one starts at about $59,000. So that maybe they are direct competitors. Again, that one's faster, this one has more range, but I think when interior, seat comfort, and just driving, handling, and styling, in my opinion, Audi just blows away the Volvo or the Polestar, depending on which one you want to compare it to. It's going to give you a perspective of what it's like to be in the driver's seat of this Q4 e-Tron Sportback. And as you can see, you have Apple CarPlay, this driver-centric navigation screen. You've got your virtual cockpit. It's smaller than what you're used to seeing in like a Q7, for example, or an A8, but this is a smaller vehicle. But I like the new steering wheel design. This is one of the newer ones for the brand, and as you can see, they've really cleaned up the instrument panel here. Just a very impressive execution, in my opinion. This is a comfortable vehicle. It's fast enough. I think the work they did on the suspension is impressive. This vehicle just drives like it's a very solid vehicle, and it is. When I look at Audi compared to every other brand, in my opinion, every other luxury brand, they just have an edge when it comes to design. Exterior styling, interior styling, this driver-centric, meaning that the screen is angled towards the driver, just all the extra space that you have, and cubbies, extremely impressive. These guys really know what they're doing, and when I buy a luxury car, I want to feel like I'm driving a luxury car. I want to feel like it is more premium than, let's just say, the VW Tiguan, for example, which is comparable in size to this vehicle, but I want to feel like it's more luxurious, and that's what they've done here. As you can see, there's plenty of storage space. We're able to fold the seats down. Audi has this kind of locking second row seats, which other car companies are starting to mimic. You also have some storage space underneath as well. So we talked a little bit about the design. So with the Sportback, you get this much more sloped, aggressive, sporty look to it. And a lot of car companies are starting to do that, offer 2 variants. And so that's what Audi's done here. I really don't have a lot to complain about. The seats were comfortable. The interior is exactly what I would expect from Audi. Next generation of the virtual cockpit, and a lot of storage room for cups and bags, etc. Just a very practical vehicle, easy to get in and out of. It's quick enough, 0 to 60, 5.8 seconds. Could be a little faster. I'm Ron Doron, thanks for watching. See you next time on The Driver's Seat.